is the fact that we're discussing socio-economic status and disadvantage today in relation to women and the choices that they make is looking at the website on positive options and the clinics that provide counselling services which you fund. I counted 32 or 33 or something like that, but you say if there's 40 and I accept that. I didn't look at the geographical spread of them, about access to full information for all women across all centres in Ireland, and outside of the urban centres it might be more difficult for women to access an abortion or, a crisis pregnancy counselling service. And I wonder, would you comment on that just makes it more difficult, and that therefore the question of socio-economic and disadvantage, economic disadvantage, applies very much more for people who aren't near an urban centre where they have choices in the type of counselling received. The second thing I want to ask you about is that when you look at the list of agencies under positive options, about 1/3 of them are agencies run by Anu and Cura. And I looked at both their websites, and both of them say on their websites, we do not provide contact details on abortion clinics or abortion information services, but we will discuss. Now, I know that you state here that the legal framework for providing the information of abortion is that they must give individuals access to the information. What I'm getting at here is if I'm a poor woman and I go to, because it's the nearest one or the only one accessible to me, a Cura or a new counselling service, crisis pregnancy agency, and I'm thinking about abortion and they won't discuss abortion with me, why therefore is the crisis pregnancy agency funding 1/3 of counselling services throughout the country who aren't giving women full access to all of the options that they may have? And does that not further disadvantage women who are socio-economically in a bottom bracket, who may have to then say, okay, you won't provide me with the information I need on abortion, but you will provide me with the name of a doctor I can go to or another service I can go to? Does that not compound both their disadvantage and possibly even the delay in procuring an abortion? Because we want, obviously, women need and want to have access to abortion as early as possible. And this seems to me a kind of an anomaly. Why is a state agency like the Crisis Pregnancy Agency funding services that will not give the full information to women? Because they do state on their website they don't discuss. They will discuss, but they won't provide the information.
Okay, I mean, certainly we fund 15 services in terms of crisis pregnancy counselling, and 2 of them, you're right, due to their ethos, do not provide information on names and addresses of abortion clinics outside of Ireland. What they absolutely will provide, though, is information on all 3 options. They will discuss, if a client attends them and wants to discuss the option of abortion, they will discuss that option. Also, as you've seen from their website, the information is very clearly accessible in terms of what information they will or will not provide. So a client is made aware before she attends whether she will be provided with information on abortion services. So I think there's an element of choice, I suppose, for some women in terms of attending a service that isn't going to provide her with the information or choosing another service. What they also have in place, and it's written down in their service arrangements with the HSE, is that there is robust referral procedures, so that if a woman does come who is being counselled and is seeking information on abortion and does want information on the names and addresses of the clinics, that she can then be referred on to her GP or another service provider. And I think, the counselling services would certainly report to us that they will support women through the option of abortion. The ethos of their service does not allow them to provide the names and addresses of the clinics. So that's really in terms of those 2 services. And I suppose women attend crisis pregnancy counselling for numbers of different reasons and make decisions on their choices around their crisis pregnancy. And I think, as our research shows, 73% of women choose to parent, and many of these organisations support women through parenting, and even after the baby is born, support them around kind of supports for new mothers. So there's certainly a role in terms of the services around that, but ultimately the choice is for the woman in terms of which service she attends. Now, I take your point in terms of a kind of a rural or a kind of an urban or rural spread in terms of the counselling services.
Well, it's also the point that it's 1/3 of all the counselling services that you fund are represented by these agencies who say we don't talk about abortion. So is that not an anomaly for the role that you play, as in you fund counselling services that look at all three options, parenting, adoption and abortion, and 1/3 of them, whether they're in rural Ireland or not, that's kind of, that was my socio-economic point, but my point about the provision of the service is more about 1/3, which is quite a lot of the agencies that are funded that won't talk to you unless you say to them, well, I need to talk about abortion. Well, here's a list of doctors that will discuss it with you. Why would you fund those agencies, and why would you fund 1/3 of them?
I mean, I think... I think, again, the services, the counsellors that work in both of these services would absolutely support a woman who is exploring the option of abortion. What the ethos of their organisation does not allow them to do is provide the names and addresses of the clinics, in England or elsewhere. But absolutely, she can be supported through that. They provide post-abortion counselling as well in terms of clients who have had abortions. So certainly, the individual counsellors are there to support women, but equally, the information is available to potential clients on whether they choose to attend that service or not. And again, I think the point of the kind of the regional spread of these services, and we certainly understand that. And again, as Helen mentioned, we are looking to develop a telephone counselling service, a national telephone counselling service, which we hope will help open up access to all services to individuals around the country who maybe at the moment find it difficult to attend a face-to-face counselling session due to their geography, due to their social circumstances. So hopefully that opens up the counselling service to more and more women.
Thank you. Deputy